Hey everyone, this is Combat Lobster, and today we're going to be playing one of my favorite games on the Game Boy. That's right, it's Ninja Gaiden Shadow for the Game Boy. But before we start in the video proper, I'd like to talk about the development process of this game, because this will be one of the only times I'll be able to talk about this game in full detail. And to do that, we need to go back approximately 1 year to a game that was released on the NES. So if you don't mind me putting on my serious LP cap for a couple of seconds, let's take a look at this game's history. It all started back in 1990. Company Natsume developed and published a game called Shadow of the Ninja for the NES, which tells the story of two ninjas named Hayate and Kaede who try to stop the evil empire Garuda's reign over the United States of America in the year 2029. Soon after the game's release, Natsume began development on a Game Boy port for Shadow of the Ninja, and it was first cited in Volume 28 of Nintendo Power in the Coming Soon section. It was quoted saying, "Another one to look out for is Shadow of the Ninja, an excellent Game Boy adaptation of the NES Ninja Thriller. This version included new settings and new enemies along with the same great game control and same cool acrobatic moves." Along with that quote was a screenshot of the game in its earliest form. However, not too long after, Natsume lost the publishing rights to the game, and it was handed off to Tecmo, which they added a slightly different coat of paint and revised it into Ninja Gaiden Shadow, or Shadow Warriors if you're in Europe or Australia. And with that said, let's play. So the controls in this game are pretty simple. All we can do is jump and attack, which there's more to it than that, but we'll get into those later. It's a general rule that most enemies, except for bosses, will die in one hit, so the game kind of encourages you just to plow through the entire level at a very fast pace, or as fast as the Game Boy can handle it. And I like this game a lot. It's a really fun game to just plow through in about half an hour, which for a Game Boy game, that's pretty much the appropriate length, because if I remember correctly, most of my runs of this game end up stopping at level 2. It's not because I was really bad at the game, but it was just because new batteries for your Game Boy, kind of hard to come by, especially when you played it as much as I did. So anyways, these little strange bars that look like the Tetris block, like the long Tetris block from Tetris, you can hang from those, and you can drop down from them. It will come in handy in later levels to know that mechanic, and but for now, that's all you can do. That big jug right here, that's a health pickup. It'll heal us for 4 blocks of health. And that other kanji symbol looking thing, that's like a super attack power-up. You can do that by hitting up and attack, like in Castlevania. Before we go to the next area, if we drop down here, we find another secret power-up. And here we are at a dilemma. We can't just jump up, but if we hit up and B, or up and jump I think, I can't remember which, we can shoot out a grappling hook which will hoist us up. And here's the boss. He does really nothing but latch onto the ceiling and try to pounce on you. That's it. And all you have to do is just wail on him a little bit. But as easy as he is, I can't seem to help myself but get hit. Sometimes he'll try to psych you out, trying to get you to run the other way. So, I mean, that's pretty much the only time you'll probably get hit. Or unless you're just as dumb as I am and just stand there long enough for him to hit you. Like I did just then. And in true fashion, enemies will blow up in multiple explosions. And a victory jump. Always gotta jump whenever you win. Especially when you're a ninja. So now it's time for stage 2, and there are only 5 stages in this game. As I said before, this game is really short. We've transitioned from some sort of pier to what I assume is some sort of mining facility. It could be a maximum security prison. I don't even know. I don't even think the developers really thought about what the fuck anything was supposed to look like. Some of the enemies are So the enemies are completely different. There's the rifleman that will shoot like 3 bullets at you, and the humongous dude that shoots flaming spooge or some shit. I don't know. From his vacuum arm. I'm just making up all these descriptions on as I see them because normally I would have like a game manual or something to refer to when I'm actually doing an actual LP and not just doing a cash run. But yeah, that kind of looks like Flamin' Spooge. See, look, Flamin' Spooge. Or some shit, I don't know. And if you think that looks confusing, well, here's another confusing enemy. It's some sort of robotic toucan thing with the where its lower half is replaced with a cannon. Yeah, try to imagine that. I mean, it was the Game Boy. I mean, what? They didn't have a whole lot to work with. Oh, and there's the grappling hook at work again. It's great for grabbing onto ledges that you can't reach. And if we go over here, we get another little secret item, which is a 1-up. There are like, I think there are like 5 1-ups in the entire game. And there's at least one in every level except for, I think, level 1 and level 3, I think. So not much else to talk about, which now we are now officially in cash territory, because I got nothing else to say. So, yeah, this is the first Game Boy game I ever actually owned, aside from Tetris, which was like a pack-in game, I think. So, I played this the most, because it was pretty much the only game I had up till whenever Pokemon Red came out. Oh, and here's another enemy. He's the shield dude. He works like a boo, so you just have to turn around, he'll walk forward, and you can just slash him once and he'll die. Anyways, yeah, this was pretty much the only game I had on the Game Boy for a very long time, so I've invested a lot of fucking time in this goddamn game for no fucking reason. Which is a crying shame, because this is pretty much literally the easiest Ninja Gaiden game released to date. And, yeah. Lemon dude. Dude shooting lemons. I'm trying to think of what that guy actually was. Is he like a dude in like full-on armor, or what's going on there? Because I'm pretty sure nobody has a pudding-shaped head. Kind of looks like pudding. Kind of, I don't know. I'm just making random observations till we get to the goddamn boss, which is right here, trying to do a little trick shot, trying to take out 2 guys with 1 super attack. And here's the boss of stage 2. It's a big guy with a little guy on top of him. Wait a minute. Anyways, he doesn't do a whole lot. He can kick you, he can punch upward. And if the little guy jumps on his shoulder, he will do a supercharge attack, and if the little guy grabs your leg, he will dry hump you and apparently slow your running speed down, which, yeah, as long as you're not like right next to the guy, it's not gonna really bother. It's not really gonna change anything. This guy's really, really easy, like most bosses. Though I do like the design of the arena, because it has two little hanging bars where you can maneuver yourself around and do, you know, really cool looking things, like stuff that I'm not doing right now, and I'm getting my ass kicked. And I'm doing really bad at this boss. I lost 4 health. And this is part of the casual run. I'm not gonna do any retakes or anything. And that's part of the casual run. Truth is that I'm not really good at video games, and I mostly use a lot of reshoots to cover up for this shit. Stage 3. Hear that? That sounds familiar, don't it? If only there was a game that was released on the NES that had this same track. I mean, it makes sense, because, I mean, it is a Ninja Gaiden game that was just painted over to be... I mean, it was another game that was supposed to be this... You know what? Whatever. I don't even know what I'm talking about. So anyways... there's more environmental hazards more than enemies, so which include these fan things that shoot fire from them. I don't know. I don't know what exactly is going on here, but apparently there's a fan thing, and then there's fire shooting out of it. I think that's all we need to know. I don't even know how they were supposed to work, but whatever. There are also little robot things that will drop bombs. They go in 2 directions. Oh. Also, there's a secret area up here. Missed the timing on that, but oh wells. Which contains another extra life and a super attack. And a super attack. Super attack. And this next area involves conveyor belts. They work the same way as a grapple pole ledge. So I gotta come up with a name to stick to, because I can't... I'm gonna keep making up dumbass names for these stupid-ass little... whatchamacallit? Things you can grapple onto. Eh, whatever. So apparently, according to this scenery that's going on here, we're on some sort of battleship or some shit, because we got AA guns and a helicopter. And lots of railing. Yeah, that's how I'm going to deduce this is like a battleship. There's railings around, because that's where you only find railings. And there are... I don't know what those is. They look like... They look like little lanterns, but, I mean, they're supposed to be like some sort of rotating electrical thing. I don't even know what purpose they serve other than to annoy me. And now we're into the third part. Now we're into the third part. There are spikes down here. I thought they were supposed to be instant kill spikes, but it turns out they'll just hurt you. So I just learned something that I didn't learn about in a while. We're almost at the end, and we're almost to the boss. Nope, now I'm... Oh, jeez. Well, I died. See, normally, I'd have probably just reshoot this entire stage over again to make sure that wouldn't happen. Or I would probably just change the UI to display inaccurate information, but whatever. So, here's the third part of Stage 3 again. Not like we didn't get enough of that anyway. Okay. So we're gonna drop down. We're gonna, yeah, drop down. Don't move forward. Use your super attack first so we can get this extra life, because those things are gonna fall right on top of you. If you try to do it, like run up and then attack and grab it then, you won't have enough time to get out from underneath and you will die. And here's the boss. Strange thing going on with all these bosses. They're really huge people. Or maybe it's just that Ryu Hayabusa is a really short guy. I don't know which. So this one's my kind of my favorite kind of boss, because it involves you getting out of the way when he's shooting, and they'll be like, huh, where'd he go? And then you just drop down and wail on him a little bit. And you just lose sight of him for a second, then you drop down while wail on him a little more. I don't know. Dude doesn't even have a face. I mean, I know the graphics for the time couldn't have faces, but I'm a little freaked out now that I don't see his face. It's Slenderman's side job. He was a commander-in-chief of some army fucking thing. Is this an army? What's going on here? I don't even know what the story's going on here. I mean, there's like a dude that's bad, and we're gonna go stop him, but I don't really know why we're on this ship, other than that we're just on this ship. And just like everybody else, a man explodes. He had explosives on him. Well, from battleship to underground water base, I think? I don't know. Anyways, here's a new enemy. These are ninja dudes. They throw shuriken and then they immediately change gravity and they cling to the ceiling because they're weird. Ninjas are weird. And apparently this place has got some leaky pipes, and they're shooting out acid or something. Nitroglycerin? I don't know. And then we go from underground water area to underground straight up. Still got the acid though. I really wish I knew what the fuck this story is about this damn game. Wondering what the fuck we're doing down here. Anyways, the lights went out, and they're going to proceed to go out a couple of times. And then there's going to be these nipple-like things that shoot lasers from the tops and bottom. The best way to avoid them is to cling onto the middle bar in the middle of the room. That way you can just flip up or down whenever there's a laser coming by. And this guy's in the way, and I want him to die. He is impeding my progress. And now there's two guys impeding my progress. Luckily, they're pretty easy to take care of, and we reached the end. Yay. Oh, a sweet jump there. Oh, there was a bit I was supposed to do. I forgot. Well, at the bottom there's some healing items and a super attack. And as soon as we start this next section, we have to hit the floor running. Or we should say we should get climbing. I don't know. Because there's gonna be fire, water, electric, acid shit that's coming out from behind us. And we need to climb upwards. Don't touch those electrical things because they will stun you for a lot of, for a pretty long time, and they will pretty much guarantee your death. Also, if you stand in the corner where that laser nipple is supposed to not hit you, you could dodge that laser, but for whatever reason it didn't work that time. And in true display of incompetence, I missed the jump, and now I'm gonna have to leave that extra life behind. Oh wells. So here's the next boss. It's, God, I don't know, Japanese nobleman with baggy-ass pants? Like, seriously, look at his pants. They're really baggy. So here's his gimmick. He throws his little shuriken fan thing, and it will go over once and then go below you. So you just, you know, duck, jump, duck, jump. And he will proceed to do this till the rest of the fight. He also has one more attack, which he hasn't done yet. And I'm trying to get him to do it, but he won't do it. Also, it might be a good idea to not get cornered when he does his little fan attack, because if it goes off screen, it's going to be pretty tough to guesstimate whenever that thing's going to come back. And here's the other attack. He throws shuriken. Yay! He did all his attacks. Now let's kill this bitch. Must be mandatory to carry explosives on you in order to be a Ninja Gaiden boss nowadays. Victory jump. And here is stage 5, and it also has the second best track of music in the entire game. The first being the ending. The only new enemy in this, well, there's 2 new enemies. The first one being this guy that shoots flame. The first one being this guy with the flamethrower. Shit. You can't really take him on head on because he's got too much reach with that flamethrower, so you kind of have to coax him into sneaking up behind him or some shit. Or just do that. The other one is this robot thing that shoots lasers. I'm having a tough time coming up with descriptions for these enemies. They only shoot like once and then they just hover for a little bit. They're really easy to take care of, but they do explode a whole lot, which makes me happy. Also, sneak attack from that guy right there. Now for the second part, if you just turn around and go back a little bit and drop down, you get a secret area. Wonder what's inside the secret area. It's an extra life. And for the final environmental hazard in this game, give it a second, there's wall thingies that will shoot lasers. So, yep, lasers. Really long lasers. Like, you really have to time your jump, otherwise you're going to end up falling on that laser and taking a hit. Also, the last stage is where I kind of get really liberal with the super attacks. Because I just don't want to put up with all this crap. I mean, I don't have time to wait on your stupid flamethrower bullshit. I gotta kill you now. And couldn't have too much of a good thing, so I had to get hit eventually. And here is the last part, the elevator. The elevator is one of my favorite parts because it involves doing the hanging and grappling, all that good stuff. It also has lasers. Lots and lots of lasers. Lots of laser dodging involved in this shaft. So get ready for some pro dodging moves from me. Yeah, see? I ain't full of bullshit. I'm pretty good at this part. And that's basically it. There's nothing here but lasers. And the elevator. There are a couple of extra pickups from the side every now and again, but they're only super attacks, except for the very last pickup, which is a health pickup. And unless you really need those, I don't think you need to bother with them too much. Oh, dang it. Well, so much for pro dodging skills. And I done lost my nerve, and I'm taking all the hits. But, health pickup. Yay. And now time for the final boss. Alright, here he is. Basically, all he will do is he'll swoop down to your last known position, and he will lift back up and shoot like lightning bolts or some shit. And to dodge most of his attacks, all you really need to do is just alternate from going from the left side of the screen to the right side of the screen. But you also need to take into consideration the timing, because he shoots at like 1 second intervals, I think. So sometimes you'll probably have to make some quick judgment on whether or not you need to run past him or whatnot. Because like in situations like this, that lightning ends up hitting me. So it's really situational. You just have to make the best judgment you can. And once we hit him enough times, it's time for Form 2. Whoa! I buffed up, motherfucker. Now he shoots 3 laser blasts. I think 3 blasts or whatever. Going from middle, bottom to top. So you have to wait for the middle one to go away, and then you can jump over the bottom one, which is what I'm supposed to be doing, but I'm not doing very well. Also, I forgot that I have all 5 super attacks. I should probably fucking use them. And you just do this till he dies, which should be happening sooner or later. I hope. Any second now. There we go. And that's it. Victory dance for winning the game. We did it. And all in under 20 minutes. I mean, all in under 30 minutes. And that's the game. And that's Ninja Gaiden Shadow for you. And as I said before, this is my favorite Game Boy game. And I still play it off and on every now and again when I want something to breeze through. And I don't really know how it stacks up to other Ninja Gaiden games. I've played like the first one on the NES and like part of the second one. I couldn't beat them because I'm just a wuss and I'm bad at video games. So yeah, this is pretty much my favorite Ninja Gaiden game, probably because it's the easiest one, and I like the game feel of the game. Really nice, tight controls, kind of, or tight enough for me to like them. I don't know. So I'm just gonna leave you guys with the outro. See you guys.